Okay, welcome to BPAVE Module 5. My name is Dr. Kenny Ewulu. I will be your guide and coach for tonight. This is our 9th Q&A session over this through this program. It's a 10-week program. We're just getting into week 5, which we'll be handling. We'll be looking at websites today, services, and the e-commerce component of websites. As I said earlier, my name is Dr. Kene Ewulu, and it will be my pleasure to guide you through tonight's Q&A sessions. Now, over the past couple of weeks, we've handled the process. We've gone through the business registration. We've gone through URLs, and we've gone through TIN numbers and bank accounts. And today, as I said, we're looking at websites. Okay, now having said that, this is what, for those of us who are already in the course, this is what your screen will look like in week 5. We're looking at week 5, and that's module 5, websites, services, and e-commerce. And in that, we have 2 subgroups where we talk about websites and where we talk about services and e-commerce. So I'm going to be sharing with us what the websites will entail as we begin to look at what we need to do this week to get ourselves ready to get our websites up and running, okay? Now, I want to say that developing and going live on your website can be done at any time, okay? Whether it's at the URL stage or through the EIN bank account stage, to well after your bank account has been opened and your business has started. The main thing is that it should be a continuous iterative process, okay? Ideally, your website should be set up after your bank accounts are in place, all right? You want to provide content on the Word document for different aspects of your website, okay? This content should include things like your home, the services, your leadership, your contact us button, etc. You might want to add on others depending on the nature of your business, okay? You can then begin to update your website by copying and pasting your content from the Word document. Now, as I normally say, an IT professional will do a better job for you. They can suggest platforms, carriers, design, etc. You might need to also ask them for the password. So once they're finished with that initial job for you, you can learn how to go in and add more content and manage your website as your business grows, okay? You also want to include in your website photographs and videos of your products and services. Now, there are certain critical things that must be part of your website, okay? Your contact information, email, phone, and at least a mailing address, okay? I would suggest adding on your physical address for credibility and confidence building purposes. You do recall we're now in a virtual remote era, okay? People want to do business with you, but they don't want to just see your email address or what country or state you're registered in. They want to see a physical address, a place that they think they can find you at if they need to find your physical location. So you must have an office address, okay? For those of you who are working from home and setting up your businesses from home, you could use your home address. That works as well. It's a physical address. It brings credibility and confidence, okay, to your business. Furthermore, you want to include the terms of service, disclaimers, and non-disclosure information at the footer of your website. At the very bottom of your website, you want to have links there that will say terms of service. That's what determines your scope of service. The things that you will do, the things you won't do, the things you can be liable for, and the things you will not be liable for. It's important to have those things at the bottom before people do business with you. So the website is your face, is what interacts with people, especially in this 21st century business climate where everything is done on the internet. You want your website to be as exhaustive as possible, okay? To answer as many questions as possible. All right, now there are so many website providers out there. We've already discussed that. The choice is yours. You decide who you want to use, okay? Most of them also have the free or basic bouquet, all right? And that is free. You get in and you can set up your website. It's really very simple. But please be advised that this choice will not give you the functionality your business requires, particularly for online transactions. Okay, more of that will be coming up in the e-commerce submodule that is coming up next. I'm going to be discussing the e-commerce part of your website next. Now, I want to say as a final note on setting up your website that if you don't have anybody that can do this for you, we can suggest one or two people. We have a few IT professionals who are part of this program who would not mind having a conversation with you. So if you need that kind of information, just send us an email at support@kdeleadership.com. support@kdeleadership.com. When you do that, we'll respond to you with the contact information of our IT professionals. And then you guys can get together and have a conversation. Now, your business operations can begin while you continue making additions to your website, okay? You don't have to wait until your website is fully in place, fully functional, fully comprehensive before you open your doors to the outside world. If cash flow is not an issue, as I said, consider employing an IT professional who will perform your content and e-commerce updates for you for a small monthly or quarterly stipend. I do that, okay? For something like 20 bucks or 30 bucks or 40 bucks a month, you have someone who does all that and makes sure that all your links are in place, your website is professional, the colors, the themes, everything is working, and you can just focus on developing your business and getting things on the way. Now, having said that, I want to share with us the second part of tonight's Q&A, which is on services and e-commerce. Don't mind me as I keep looking on the left here. I'm looking at the chat box. If you do have any questions for tonight, remember to type them into the chat box and I'll respond to them. If you're not able to do that, you can also send an email to us at support@kdeleadership.com. Now, getting to the services and e-commerce portion of your website. This is one of the most important elements of your website because it gives you the capability to buy and sell goods and services remotely. This too, as I said, can be an iterative process. You will need to find, as you find the need to tweak your prices based on market forces and offer discounts and promotions as you deem necessary. So you keep iterating, you keep touching up your website because of fluid market forces. You might want to sell a certain product at $29.99 and then want to do a promotion for two months where it's now $19.99 and then goes back up to $29.99. You have to be able to adjust your website, the pricing on your website, to make sure those payment buttons actually do display, reflect the new prices that you have. So on an e-commerce website, you want to add payment buttons to your list of goods and services that you offer, okay? There should be a small description there and then the goods and services. I'll give you an example. I'll show you a little bit about my website as we go on so you can see what I mean. You want to include brief descriptions of the products and services that you offer, all right? You want to also link your payment buttons to e-commerce platforms such as PayPal, WooCommerce, Stripe, whatever it is you want to use. You want to make sure that your PayPal buttons are linked, your payment buttons are linked to these e-commerce platforms. So you can receive payment and you can pay other people as well. It's advisable to position your payment buttons in a prominent, visible position on your website, okay? Sometimes it's advisable to have a separate top-level tab for this. You want people to get to your website and immediately see the goods and services you offer and the pricing. You want to see those should be displayed openly, okay? So that people can get to it, are attracted to it immediately. Also, I'll suggest that for marketing purposes, you want to collate the list, put together the list of your payment buttons so you can use that during your marketing efforts as we go further. This is further described in module 10. All right, so our final note for tonight is you may need to select a minimum of a standard website package from your provider. Now, your provider could be, as I said, it could be WordPress, it could be Kajabi, it could be just name it. GoDaddy, Media Temple. There's so many providers out there that you can use. All right, so many of them. All right, and they all basically do the same things. So, what I want to advise you tonight is you want to pick a standard website package so that from your provider to enable your e-commerce capabilities. When I say e-commerce capabilities, I mean those videos, photographs, payment buttons. It's only a paid package that can give you that capability. The basic packages might not have those capabilities. And when I say the videos, the photos, payment buttons, and other add-ons, you want to be able to have something that can give you the ability to do those things, because they're not going to give it to you free of charge, okay? As I suggested in the last sub-module, guys, consider employing an IT professional to perform your initial content and e-commerce uploads, okay, for an initial fee. And then if you want to retain them for a monthly stipend, that's fine. If you don't want to, that's fine as well. Once you know how to get into that website to update and to add things and to remove things, like you run a program and it's over, you want to remove that program from site so that you can run a new program going on. So you want to do all those things. Once you've learned how to do those things, you really do not need to have an IT professional there all the time with you. So now, having said that, I also want to let us know that right now I want to share this with you. Right now, this is where we are. We're in module 5 right now here, okay? Module 5, which is websites, services, and e-commerce. We're going to be having another session on Thursday where I answer some of the questions that you had tonight. Or if you run into problems between now and Thursday, you have another chance on Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern to come in and say, hey, look, this is what I'm having. Now, remember, send us an email with your problems tonight and tomorrow and early on Thursday. So we're able to research if we need to, make a few phone calls if we need to contact one professional or the other to come on live with us to answer some of your questions. We're here for you. That's what we're here for. We're here to make the process very smooth for you, okay? So having said that, apart from Thursday when we meet again to see what your questions will be, in module 6, we're going to be jumping into the 5-year financial plan part 1, okay? And that is next week. That's what we're going to be looking at. That's why I'm sharing this with you. So apart from that, that is what I have for you tonight. I'm looking at our questions to see whether there are any questions. There are no questions for us tonight. So I'm going to remember, if you do have any questions, please send us an email at support@kdeleadership.com. You do that, one of our team members will get back to you as soon as possible. I know that when you send an email like that, it's urgent. You have a week or a couple of days to get your work finished. So we're going to be there to make sure that we respond urgently, we respond on time to give you the answers you need for your questions so you can meet up with your deadline. We want to ensure that you will finish with us by the end of this week and we can get into the 5-year financial plan, which is really what you paid for to be here, okay? So having said that, thank you so much for being here with me tonight. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on Thursday, or barring that, I'll see you next week when we look at our 5-year financial plan. Take care of yourselves out there.